Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Tuesday, the 12th of March, 2024. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up just a touch to 7,712 points. Energy stocks were among the worst performers, while the tech companies and utilities were among the best. After some big moves in recent days, there wasn't too much going on today. Some 1% plus falls from Woodside, Transurban, James Hardie and Fortescue were around the place, while QBE jumped 2%. Shares in supermarket wholesaler Metcash rose after it reported a near 1% increase in total sales for the 10 months to late February, underpinned by higher trading in liquor and hardware products. WAM Leaders was unchanged and QV Equities jumped sharply after both entities announced plans to merge. Bedding and furniture group Adairs said Chairman Brett Chenoweth was stepping down to focus on other roles in tech and media. And New Zealand was higher after it announced a pause in the Auckland-Chicago route due to engine servicing issues with Rolls-Royce Trent. And mining explorer Southern Cross Gold jumped on plans to list on the Canadian Stock Exchange. Finally, while still in markets, former Reserve Bank Governor Phil Lowe has taken his first role post the central bank and will join the board of Future Generation Australia, with the plan for him to become chair after the company's AGM in May. Story number 2, Alumina Limited has agreed to American aluminium producer Alcoa's $3.3 billion all-stock bid, sending its share price up 7%. The deal was initially announced on February 26 and endorsed by Alumina's board and its biggest shareholder, Alan Gray. Now the board of Alumina has given the green light to the takeover by its joint venture partner in what's known as the Alcoa World Alumina and Chemicals portfolio of assets. That's a mouthful. Basically, it's 5 bauxite mines, 6 alumina refineries, 1 aluminium smelter, and a shipping company with most of the assets in Western Australia. Story number 3, business conditions improved in February with the economy remaining resilient, but inflation remains a challenge. That's the findings of the National Australia Bank monthly survey. Business conditions are now back above the long-term average, though some sectors exposed to higher interest rates, construction and retail, for example, are struggling. That's the good news. The bad news is that business confidence is waning. And also companies are reporting high labour and materials costs, which is bad news for inflation. NAB Chief Economist Alan Oster said the monthly reading suggests that much of the improvement in inflation to date has been related to the global supply chain, but from here, it won't be as smooth. Story number 4, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has unveiled a $4 billion plan for housing in remote communities across the Northern Territory, with Labor aiming to build 2,700 homes over the next decade. The Prime Minister today travelled to the community of Binjari near Katherine in the Northern Territory and committed to delivering 270 new homes to help reduce overcrowding. About 92,000 Aboriginal Australians live in locations classified as very remote. According to The Australian, the Prime Minister has reframed his Indigenous affairs agenda following the defeat of the Voice to Parliament to focus more strongly on practical issues such as jobs, education, housing and justice. Handing down the annual Closing the Gap report last month, which revealed only 4 of the 19 goals were on track to be met and 4 were going backwards, Mr Albanese said the government needs to find better ways to improve the lives of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. And story number 5, US President Joe Biden has released his $7.3 trillion fiscal 2025 budget proposal, which includes more services, middle-class tax breaks and price controls funded by higher taxes on the wealthy and corporations. It's the president's opening salvo in his re-election battle with former President Donald Trump. In the US, the president releases his proposed budget, but in reality, little that stands a chance of becoming law in a divided Congress. Under the proposal, some homeowners would receive monthly tax credits to offset high mortgage rates, parents would receive subsidies for childcare, and the government would use new powers to lower prescription drug prices. There would also be a hike in corporate company tax rates and a new minimum rate to be paid by billionaires and larger companies. That's it for the afternoon report for Tuesday, the 12th of March, 2024. Michael Thompson and I will be back tomorrow morning with the Wednesday edition of Fear and Greed Business News. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.